Hi, my name is Tanisha Cherry. I'm an author, a poet, an award-winning international motivational speaker, a leadership trainer, a women's empowerment coach. I'm a founder and I'm also an entrepreneur. But that's the story. That's the story today. Let me share with you the story behind the story. I was born to a mother addicted to heroin. I was born with heroin in my system. I don't know who my father is. I've never met him before. I don't even know his name. My earliest childhood memory was living in an abandoned apartment building where we used to have to put old food cans on the windowsill when it rained just to get water to drink. I've been subjected to physical, mental, and emotional abuse and molestation. I've been in and out of foster homes, and I'm the product of the adoption system. I spent most of my life battling against the fate that the world predicted for me. Early on, the world decided that given my background, it was highly unlikely that I would even become a productive member of society. They said I wouldn't have anything, they said I wouldn't know anything, and they said I wouldn't do anything. And despite my best efforts to prevent it, my childhood trauma somehow eventually manifested into adulthood drama. Somewhere along the way, despite my many accomplishments and my professional success, I somehow became my own biggest bully. Yes, sure, outwardly I projected confidence, strength, and courage, but let me tell you, secretly I struggled. I struggled with self-esteem, I struggled with self-confidence, I struggled with self-worth, I even struggled with self-respect. Listen, no matter how high the heights were that I reached, no matter how far I would go, somehow I found myself suffering from imposter syndrome. I wasn't smart enough, I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't strong enough, I wasn't talented enough. I wasn't enough to really be deserving of true success. In my mind, I just wasn't enough. No matter how hard I worked, I wasn't enough to be deserving of that. Because after you stripped everything away, after you stripped away all the fancy titles, after you stripped away all the awards, after you stripped away all the acknowledgments, there stood the daughter of not one, but two drug-addicted parents. Listen, in a world that had already been so cruel and so unkind to me, somehow I found myself being the one person that was most cruel and most unkind to me. How did I even get there? Right? It took so long. It took so long. But thankfully, I learned how to be kind to myself. It wasn't quick, it wasn't easy, and it wasn't linear. Eventually, I had to change how I viewed myself. I changed how I treated myself. I changed the words that I said to myself. I was fortunate enough to realize that most of my issues stemmed from that lack of self-love. Once I realized that no one, and I mean no one, could replace the self-love that was missing inside of me, I learned to silence that voice in my head. I learned to rid myself of self-pity. I learned to rid myself of self-doubt. I regained my confidence, and I was able to unleash the Shero inside of me. And that's how I became the woman that I am today. That's how I became a wife, a mother, an author, a poet, an international motivational speaker, a leadership trainer, a women's empowerment coach, a founder, and an entrepreneur. So you may be asking yourself, why is she telling me all of this? Why is she sharing all of this with me? Well, I'm telling you this because I know that right now some of you are suffering in silence. And I want you to know that I know what that's like. I know what it's like to feel counted out and forgotten about. I know what it's like to feel like the world has given up on you and you don't even blame them because you've nearly given up on yourself. I know what it's like to cry so much that the tears don't even roll down your cheeks anymore. I know what it's like to feel a pain that is so deep that it feels like your soul is weeping. I know what it's like to walk around feeling like you're wearing a disguise all day smiling and pretending to be happy on the outside, but on the inside, you're really crying. I know what it's like to try and fail and try again only to fail again. I know what it's like to feel lonely in a room full of people. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and realize that that spark has disappeared from your eyes. I know what it's like to feel like the sun is shining on everyone around you, but you seem to be stuck underneath the only cloud in the sky. I know what it's like when the lows start to feel so normal that you don't even remember what the highs feel like anymore. I am super excited about my newest endeavor, Shero Unleashed. Find your fight. This program, it condenses years of knowledge, experience, resilience, intestinal fortitude, client work, and trial and error. It reduces that all down into an 8-week program. Yes, only 8 weeks. This fast-track training course, it blends hands-on exercises, motivational poetry, live instruction, self-driven action items, and dynamic discussion to help participants initiate self-healing and cultivate self-love by learning transformational tools and techniques to repurpose your pain. It's going to help you address the pain and break the chain of self-doubt by deepening self-awareness and identifying the barriers to self-confidence. We're going to help you transform your mindset through the deconstruction and reconstruction process by acquiring the skills to control your actions and block your distractions. We're going to unlock the secrets to advancing towards dreams and goals with unwavering courage and conviction through goal setting and goal getting. And finally, we're going to expand your knowledge, increase your focus, and extend your reach by discovering the key to building effective friendships, relationships, and partnerships with like-minded individuals. This endeavor is going to not only allow me to work with women individually, but it's going to allow me to work with women at an organizational level. If you'd like to be one of the first people to learn more about this life-changing program, then please reach out to me as soon as possible. Reach out to me. I can be reached at info@tanishacherry.com. So take that action today, because you deserve to live a life of purpose, with purpose, on purpose. I want you to take the action to book that spot. I want you to take the action to book your spot in this life-changing program today. Do it now, because space is limited. Thank you.